This episode is called Jesus on Wine. You may want to stick around. Well, hello world, my name is David Dorn, and this is Preposterous, which is not your typical Bible study. I mean, come on. This episode's called Jesus on Wine, but it is in the Bible. In fact, we're going verse by verse through the Gospel of John, where we find ourselves today in John chapter 2, Jesus turning water into, well, wine. And apparently it was the best stuff around. Mwah! Good year. Look at the story with me. On the third day, a wedding took place at Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." "Woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied. "My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, the kind used for the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding from 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water," so that they filled them to the brim. Then he told them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." They did so, and the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into the wine. He did not realize where it had come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. Then he called the bridegroom aside and said, "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much to drink, but you have saved the best till now." What Jesus did here in Cana of Galilee was the first of the signs through which he revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. After this, he went down to Capernaum with his mother and brothers and his disciples. There they stayed for a few days. So 3 days after gaining a handful of disciples, Jesus attends a wedding. Now, apparently his mother was well connected to the bride and groom, since she seems to be helping with the planning. Now, a Jewish wedding in the first century was a big event that lasted for days. I mean, the groom's family played host to hordes of wedding guests all week and provided them food and drink, namely water and wine, to the guests. While the party was still going on, the biggest faux pas that could happen happened. They ran out of wine. Now, you have to understand that Jewish culture in the first century didn't value things based off of right and wrong. That's a Western concept that we Americans inherited from our European ancestors. No, Jewish culture at the time was an Eastern-based culture that valued things based on honor and shame. Was it wrong for the groom to completely underestimate how much wine his guests would drink? No. But it was shameful, like talk of the town type shameful. Like we best move to another village where no one knows us type shameful. Since Mary, Jesus' mother, was somehow connected to this family, she voluntold her son would help. But here's the thing. This is the first recorded miracle of Jesus we have in the Bible, but she clearly knew he could do it. That leads me to believe that it's possible that Jesus had been quietly conducting miracles growing up. I mean, Mary knew the power that her son possessed, even if it was to head off an otherwise embarrassing situation for some friends. What's interesting here to me is that Jesus refers to his mother as woman, which isn't a dig at his mom, by the way. It was a sign of reverence at the time. But he says, "It's not my time yet," meaning Jesus knew what his life was going to entail. He knew from the moment he outed himself to the world that the clock would start ticking. He knew his life would culminate to the cross. Jesus' life and ministry wasn't happenstance, it wasn't chance, and it wasn't a mistake. There was timing and order to what Jesus came to do. Still, he loved and respected his mom enough to meet her request. Do you believe that Jesus meets yours? Now, I'm sure your request doesn't involve turning water into wine, great wine at that, but does it involve healing a broken heart? Does it involve restoring a relationship? Does it involve a career move? Does it involve health issues? What are your requests? Well, first, have you made those requests to Jesus? He's a good listener. Second, do you believe that he will answer your request? Mary did. Third, Jesus loves you. Jesus once told his mother and brothers were waiting on him. His response was this: "Who is my mother and who are my brothers?" Pointing to his disciples, he said, "Here are my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of my Father in heaven is my brother and sister and mother." Jesus takes care of those who follow him. Now, in my life, Jesus hasn't always answered my prayers the way I thought they should go. But it's not my job to tell Jesus the specifics of how to fix my problem. My job is to present the problem and have faith he's going to answer. Mary didn't tell Jesus how to fix the wine shortage. She just told the servants to do whatever he said, and they did. Are you willing to hand your requests and problems to Jesus and trust him with enough faith that he's going to intervene? Now imagine the groom and his parents. They know about the wine shortage and they are sweating bullets about what to do. Then they see a servant take a glass and give it to the master of ceremonies. They are about to be outed for their lack of preparation. And then the master of ceremonies exclaims that this is the best wine he's ever tasted. Boom! Hashtag Jesus take the wheel, hashtag clutch, hashtag Jesus is better than $2 Chuck. Friends, Jesus cares about people. He cares enough to bail this poor groom from embarrassment and cares enough about you to listen and to respond. Are you talking? So our question of the day is this. Have you made your request known to Jesus? And do you have the faith he's going to answer? Leave your thoughts in a comment down below. I love to read those. But thanks for watching. If you'd like to purchase my book called Reclaiming Anger, it's a Bible study about how to do anger God's way. The link is down below. You can support the show by contributing to my Patreon, and you can follow me for daily content on social media. Don't forget you can grab today's study guide from the website PREPOSTEROUSproject.com. All the links are down below. I'll see you soon. God bless. But it's not my job to tell Jesus